Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a special final round highlight coverage with the of the 6th annual Big Blue Shindig in Beatrice, Nebraska. This is a Disc Gauntlet PDGA B tier with $1,000 added cash. We have lead card coverage with Jonathan Fletcher, Lucas Kamarchek, Daniel Zooks, James Fleege, and Jordan Spilker. I'm Jesie Kohl, one of the 4 co-owners of Disc Gauntlet, and today I'm pleased to have special guests joining me, last year's champion and Disc Gauntlet Elite Team member, Jonathan Fletcher.
Thanks for having me, Jesse. I'm excited to get into this coverage and get another look at this course.
Yeah, I think this course has one of the best front nines in the state, don't you think?
Yeah, it's definitely up there. There's a lot of different shot shapes you're throwing, but also the scenery. You're throwing up and down hills through lots of different trees. Tons of fun.
You see here you got a 1-stroke lead over Lucas and Dan. James and Jordan and Blaine are right behind you. I think Blaine just kind of missed out on the lead card here, but we'll be all right. Well, we're starting off here on hole 1. This is par 3, 358 feet.
This is a brutal starting hole for a round. I went forehand round 1, and this round I went with the backhand just because I felt like it was a more comfortable shot to throw for the first one of the round. You can see Lucas here going with the forehand. The whole shape's for the forehand a lot better, but it's kind of whatever you're comfortable with. Trying to get up there and give yourself a putt, but it's not easy to kind of come off of lunch or come out of the morning and hop onto this hole.
Ilker hit a pretty good putt there.
Yeah, that's a great way to start a round. And this is, you kind of like these, 20-ish footers to start your round to get the confidence rolling. The shorties, they don't build confidence, and those long ones are a little bit scary to start with.
And you absolutely park hole 2 here.
This is probably my favorite par 3 on the front nine. I might say that again about hole 6, but I love the shot shape, low ceiling, kind of a power shot, but you still got to turn the disc.
Another birdie for you there.
Yeah, that's a great start. I was telling myself before the round, if I can be 2 down through 4, phenomenal, and going into hole 3 being 2 under is way above what I thought was going to happen.
Oh, early tree there. Kind of kicks you out. I think you stayed in.
Yeah, stayed in bounds. Not a terrible spot to be. Just kind of depends on if you have a bunch of trees or a gap to work with over there. But stayed out of the bushes, and that's about as much as I could ask for.
And I hear so many people say that this hole is like one of the best holes in the state. I think it definitely makes my dream 18 for Nebraska for sure.
I think it's my favorite par 4 in the state. Because it's not crazy long, but it's 2 stock shots that go opposite ways. You have that forehand or left to right mover, and then the second one's kind of a straight shot, but you probably prefer the right to left moving shot. And here I don't really have much of anything. I'm kind of trying to throw like a flat to baby Annie over these bushes and hoping that it just fades back, misses the road, and hopefully sits in the middle. I ended up catching that bush, that one of those last couple, but I'll take that. Hopefully should be able to get up and down for par here. That's all I'm really looking at after a drive like that.
For sure. From my angle, I thought the upshot looked great, and then just kind of got caught by the streak.
Yeah, I threw it long last round. My disc was a little bit straighter than I was expecting it. I'm throwing the same disc there, so I'm kind of trying to throw it a little bit softer, and I think that's why I came up a little short. I wanted to make sure I got back left. Another big putt.
Yeah, Jordan had some great putts both round 1 and round 2.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. He's a killer with that putter.
So what's your thoughts here on hole 4?
I think hole 4 has potential to be in a very elite level par 4 out here. There's just 2 really difficult aspects to this hole right now. The low branch near the green that everyone's trying to throw under or over and around. and the low ceiling here off the tee box. So both of those just make it a little bit too tough right now, but it has so much potential. I love the tee shot, I love the approach shot, but very difficult with both of those aspects to it.
And then you come right off of that really hard par four, then you come straight into like a must get here on hole
Yeah,
five.
it's just short enough where you feel like you have to get it, but it's tight enough too with the kind of the bushy tree type stuff on the left and the big tree on the right. It's not an easy tee shot, especially if you struggled on hole four. And this drive, I kind of hit that tree, and it's a little bit longer putt than I've had all around, so I'm a little nervous for this one.
Well, moving on to hole six, we got a big downhill shot. I think I watched you absolutely park this round one.
Yeah, this is I love this hole. Very similar to hole two. This whole second round, I kind of pulled it a little bit more, but I'm throwing a pretty overstable Vanguard there, so just letting it drift right with the speed and the downhill. As long as I kind of miss that ceiling, it comes back left, finishes right in that pocket.
Moving on to hole seven. Honestly, I think one of the most beautiful holes on the whole course. They got that water fountain working again.
100%. It's cool to see how this hole has changed scenery wise over the years. I've been playing this hole for 15 years probably. It's so beautiful.
Wow.
Two not so great drive there, and definitely got away with one. I thought I was OB right and was pleasantly surprised when I walked up to it.
We'll see here in a second how close to the road you were.
This hole is tough as a par three. We're just trying to kind of get around to this landing area and give ourselves jump putts at it, maybe. But most of the time, we're actually throwing it up there because this bush guard in the basket's so tough, and it just eats discs if you don't have the right height or speed on them.
There you are. I was kind of surprised to not see anybody real like kind of giving themselves like a good circle two look at it, but that bush is just in the right spot to where it just kind of doesn't really give you a real confident look. Then you got the drop off behind the basket as well.
It is, and the tee shot's so tough that I think most of us on this card are thinking, just get out of here with a three. You're not going to actually lose strokes to the leaders here. But when you take that four or five, that's when it kind of feels bad. So you kind of, maybe you get a little aggressive, a little high off that tee shot to kind of get to that 45-foot range, but most of us aren't really thinking birdie there.
For sure. You move into hole 8 here. I know this is one of the harder par threes on the course. There's not really a line. I think the closest shot I seen both rounds, Blaine Wood put one like 15 feet right behind the basket with a big spike hyzer.
Yeah, it's just so tough to get all the way there. And Blaine's was OB a little bit, but that's the shot. You throw it up there. You hope you throw it just short enough where you're going to stay in bounds. So I've been opting for this forehand a little bit in practice. I just noticed it, and if you get through the gap, you kind of have a pretty open approach. I kind of took my bet that not too many people were going to do it, so if I can get an easy three on here, I'll take that all day.
Absolutely. Well, on a hole 9, one of the shortest holes on the course, is this another must get?
Absolutely. You feel silly, especially after hole 7 and 8, where you're probably getting threes. You feel like you got to get a 2 here and kind of set yourself up for the back 9. And it's a pretty simple, 250-foot forehand hyzer. Most people are probably going like that overstable 9-speed, or if they're really good with that approach style disc, they'll be throwing that pretty hard. And yeah, you're just kind of hoping to get enough on it to get it up there. This grass doesn't skip a lot, but it skips you back to the basket.
Dan Zooks almost rang one up right there. You're off to a hot start here. That was a great front 9 for you.
Yeah, I was loving the start after this front 9. And that hole 10, another brutal one where you're just trying to get away with a 3. So I knew once I kind of selected that birdie on 9 that I was in a really good spot to attack the back 9.
And I know we're kind of talking about maybe next year of maybe combining holes 10 and 11 here. What are your thoughts on that?
fun par four. There's definitely a line there. We can kind of set it up for like a straight to hyzer type tee shot. And then it kind of gives you options for that second shot, especially with the little bit tighter green. Hopefully that grass won't be as tall, or maybe it won't be in the picture because that's asking for lost discs. But I love the concept of it. And it's going to kind of create one of those two-shot, pros feel like they have to get it. AMs are going to love trying to get it, or they're going to be very happy with the par there type of holes. And I think that's what this course is kind of missing out on right now. We have brutal threes and long fours, but kind of nothing real in the middle.
Well, that's going to end the front 10. We're going to move on to the back 10.
Now, 11 seems to be a must get too. You know, you kind of have 2 out of the last 3 holes or get something close. Most people are just throwing a little backhand hyzer here. But the green's tricky. The green kind of skips a little bit, and the OB is pretty close to the basket. So you want to throw something with not too much speed that's going to hit and stick pretty close.
Jordan got really lucky right there. He actually hit the OB stake and stayed in bounds.
You love when things are going your way like that. I threw mine OB round 1 here, and you definitely, you let one slip. And I was only out by, a couple inches. But lucky enough that you can kind of gather the par, and maybe you can convince yourself it's just as if you missed a 45-footer and you can continue the momentum on the next one.
Well, moving on to hole 12, you actually get to open up on this one. It's kind of like the part of the course where the course kind of stretches out a little bit.
Yeah, and this is eagleable. Well, probably not eagleable. The distance is eagleable for the pro field, but you really just throw one out there, and then you hope you have a nice jump putt. The road's so close to the basket that you can let anything get away. So you're trying to get as close as possible to get yourself an easy birdie.
Oh no, we got a little bit of away from you there, right there.
Yeah, the tall grass isn't OB on this hole, so I was trying to get on one like we see Lucas doing and kind of give myself a good look at the eagle.
Oh, wow.
Birdie, and he mashes one.
Looked like it almost went in right there.
Yeah, that was such a fun shot to watch.
It's a great upshot from Dan right there.
Not easy with those trees in the way. Anything still in that tunnel is not easy to get up and down. I tried to flex a little forehand. I was trying to think of hole 9 here, throwing this shot, and I just got the nose down on it and turfed it. 40-footer for birdie, I think, is what I'm going to have coming up. Maybe a little longer, but not the way you like to start this stretch or start hole 12. This one feels like a must get on this back 9.
Looks like you're a little bit below the basket.
Yeah, definitely putting up towards it. I haven't really had a putt this long all around, so definitely kind of new to this territory.
I know for most of the AMs out there, this is like a major tester putt for sure. How you feeling like that 15, 20 feet?
I was nervous for this one because I knew I was in good position for the tournament, but that first putt, I just kind of swung out way wide, so I knew I needed to get that one into the bucket just to not let strokes slip away. I got away with one on this drive, too. I kind of threw it into those trees, and sometimes you filter through them and go to the left fairway by that tank. This one kicked me into the middle, so good result for what that drive could have been. But I'll take it any day.
A little luck on the tank hole will never hurt.
That's right. This branch makes this approach a little bit difficult. I was trying to flex one in there, so I didn't even get all of this one. Kind of a little frustrated with myself walking up to this putt because I felt like I threw, 3 or 4 bad shots in a row. But
James hitting a big putt there.
Huge birdie. You gotta feel good about that.
Looked like your upshot turned out okay.
Yeah, it didn't skip away from the basket, so you like those putts for birdies on par 4s.
Hole 15 is kind of modified a little bit this year. We kind of went from the sidewalk. Looks like he threw it just a little low there.
Yeah, Definitely a little frustrated with myself after that one. I knew my mistake has been to throw the forehand a little nose up, so I really wanted to make sure I got it down, and definitely got the nose down on that one. Um, this is a super fun hole there. I kind of throw that upshot a little low, and now I'm thinking make this putt, save par, and kind of get out of this round alive. Because I feel like I'm leaking strokes right now. But this hole's such a tough par three, with a tight green with trees on both sides of it. You really have to move something left to right. Um, and this bogey putt I have isn't easy either. I missed everything on that par putt.
Right in the heart, though.
I bogeyed this hole both rounds, so I walked to this next tee pretty disappointed both times.
I'll catch an early tree there.
And that was the nose up miss. I was thinking about that last hole. Just a little nose up, a little soft, kind of don't have control where it's ending up after that. Brutal stance here, but really good approach by Lucas.
Everybody ends up real short here. This is a par three. Was anybody getting up close to the basket, give themselves a look at it?
Saw Blaine Wood park it round one.
Wow.
Great shot. But that's kind of what you have to do here. The basket's just in such a tough location for us, and the tee shot's very demanding angle and speed wise, that it makes it really difficult for us to get all the way up there, especially with that OB on the left, because we're either trying to flex a little forehand down there or pull over one of those 9-speed discs. So it's just a tough distance for us with that angle off the tee.
Now, hole 17 here. It's another shorter par three, but I think this is an interesting hole because you see a lot of different shot shapes.
Yeah, you see James go with the roller. I like the up the middle. It seems to be the most repeatable gap. I kind of caught trees both times. This one got me to the 45 foot, and I'm just wanting to make this putt. Kind of let a couple strokes go with the putt on 12 and a bogey on 15.
Still get out of here with a par, though.
Yeah, and par is not bad on 17. You're really liking the par there. It keeps the round going. It's definitely a hole you can take a big number on if you're not getting off the tee there. I hit first available many times during practice. And this is kind of the point of the round where you look at scores maybe and you think, at least during round one, is I want to get 2 of these last 3. I want to finish strong here because they're all gettable.
James about rings it up.
Hole 18 is such an underrated shot on this course. Not easy, but it's one you really feel like you got to throw a good shot on. I threw putter round 1, went to mid-range round 2, and just kind of threw it a little too soft, but I went overstable, so I squeaked through everything to have a pretty open putt. A little shorter than the one on the previous hole.
Another one you feel like you probably just let slip on you.
Yeah, my putter, it was one of those weird days, and I think Beatrice tends to be one of those courses where you don't have a lot of those putts if you're throwing good tee shots. But I definitely feel like I let a couple slip there.
That was a great tee shot here on hole 19 to this alternate pin position.
This is a round 1. We had a headwind here, low ceiling. Felt like this hole played a mile and a half. A little bit easier this round without the wind, but still so tough, and you never really get a skip on that tee shot. So I was happy to find myself about 20-25 foot away.
Looks like on hole 20 here, you just leak right over the sidewalk. You got a long par putt here.
Yeah, a little OB there. I checked scores before this hole, and I knew if I birdied this one, I shot a very good rating, so I was kind of hoping to get the birdie. Another nose up miss off the forehand and left the putt probably just a couple inches too low. Pops back out.
Great putt from Dan there.
showed me the line. I wish he would have went first on that one. That's a huge putt on this hole, because it's a scary one too. If you're a little high or left to right, that OB sneaks up on you real quick.
Big Blue Shindig champion Jonathan Fletcher.
Well, congratulations, back-to-back champion here at the Big Blue Shindig.
Thank you. I love playing that course. It's one of the courses I grew up on, 30 minutes from home. So I remember driving over there in high school and playing Sunday leagues, and then playing it while I was going to college up in Crete. So I've played a lot of rounds out there. It's cool to be able to get back out there and play tournaments out there. I think I said, or at the tournament, my first tournament ever was in Beatrice, May of 2014, so 10 years ago. It's kind of crazy to think back on.
Well, we really appreciate you jumping on to help talk us through the round and show us some great shots. Really just run away with it.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And congratulations to all the other winners of the event. A lot of names up there. Really appreciate everybody watching, and hopefully we'll be able to bring more coverage to you in the future. Thanks, John.
Thank you.